Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tech Gig Webinars, our endeavor to empower techies. We believe that sharing of knowledge is the key of enhancing our performances and for our growth as professionals. With this principle in mind, Tech Gig has initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to give a crisp insight of various domains. Today's session is second in the webinar series on e-commerce, giving insights into Websphere Commerce Suite, a practical guide. We are delighted to have Mr. Nikhil Ratnaparki with us today. Mr. Nikhil is Senior Manager Technology at Sapient Corporation. He has over 12 years of enormous experience in IT with 5 years in e-commerce implementations. Nikhil is involved in designing and implementing e-commerce solution for a large-scale bookseller and one of the biggest low-cost retailers of the US. Nikhil is an avid speaker in public forums, and based on his knowledge, enthusiasm and experience, he is eminently qualified to speak to us today about Websphere Commerce Suite. Gentlemen, this presentation will continue for next 1 hour, and we will take your questions after the presentation. In the meanwhile, you can post your queries through the chat pane available in the webinar software. Without further ado, I introduce you to our guest speaker, Mr. Nikhil.
Hello everyone. Thanks for the introduction. I appreciate everyone taking out time for this seminar. So today we are going to talk about how we can use Websphere Commerce to implement an e-commerce solution. So the agenda that we have for today is, of course, okay.
Yes, Nikhil, you can go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Ben. Okay. So we are going to talk about e-commerce and how it benefits various organizations, various solutions available, and how we can leverage this to achieve the results that we are looking at. So the e-commerce, commonly referred as e-commerce or e-com. So typically it's like enabling buying and selling of some products or services online. It does not mean that we are just selling some product or an item. It's like a t-shirt or shirt. It can involve anything which involves an interaction between two parties or two people. And with the current advancement that we have seen, it does not only mean selling online, it actually means building rich customer experience so that the organizations are pulling customers and they get customers again and again on their websites to make them more and more purchases on the site. Now, in terms of the benefits that people get from an e-commerce site are, of course, reduced labor cost, reduced paperwork, lesser data issues, and of course, shorter lead times for payment. Now, for an e-commerce site, typically there are various people who are involved: a vendor who typically supplies an item and a customer who typically buys an item. So it involves, it speeds up the amount of time it takes to make a payment to the vendor as well as to provide a service to the customer. Nowadays, e-commerce is another channel of advertisement, and we all see various advertisements coming up on various forums, sites like Facebook or any other website that we see. So advertising is again other aspects of e-commerce, and one of the most prominent feature is a wide audience coverage in terms of geographical location. So if I have a brick and mortar solution or a brick and mortar shop, then I'm actually constrained to the location where I have a brick and mortar shop. So typical example you can see is Shopper Stop, Big Bazaar, or various shops like this. We have presence limited to the cities. Now, if you see another solution that we have, Flipkart.com, they don't have any brick and mortar solution, but their presence is wide felt across the globe. People can access it from anywhere, and it enables all the kind of various shopping experience to people from any location. So one of the biggest advantage that we see is geographical location, and people are available from various stores. And a couple of examples, various successful examples. One of the biggest one that we know of is Amazon.com, where they have been one of the largest online retailer from last 10-15 years. They really don't have any physical stores, but they have been one of the largest e-commerce retailer. The new ones, at least typically in India, that we see now is Flipkart.com. Again, it has grown itself to a large extent. Another US retailer, Target.com, who have wide presence over the net. Now, what do we mean by an e-commerce e-commerce site? What all does it contain when we talk about an e-commerce site? So typically, if you see on an e-commerce site, you will see a list of whole set of categories which are showing up. Here you see it says point and shoot cameras, SLR. These are various categories which are
Nikhil,
available for.
Nikhil, sorry to disturb you. Can you be a bit louder, because I'm getting feedback from the audience to be a bit louder.
Yeah, sure. Is it better now?
Now it is better. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So typically for an e-commerce site, one of the primary things which builds the e-commerce site is the catalog which is available. The catalog typically consists of the products and its categorization that is being available for a customer or a user to view at. In addition, now the categories have various products which can be viewed by a customer. Customer has features to compare. They have social media integration, like providing reviews, ratings, providing comments about the product. The features like they can search various products that are available on the site. Probably one of the highest used functionality in any e-commerce site. And one of the most things which any retailer looks for is the shopping cart, which enables you to buy anything from the site. Now, in terms of what are various solutions that are available in the market as of today, which can be leveraged by various people or various companies which provide various type of solutions which enable e-commerce. Now, Oracle has a solution called ATG. Demandware is another solution. IBM provides Websphere commerce solution. Market Live, Hybris is one of the upcoming e-commerce solution, and there are whole lot other host of e-commerce solutions which are available in the market. If we compare the e-commerce solutions which are available, in terms of the market leaders that we see, IBM and ATG are one of the key top leaders. This is as per one of the study done by Gartner last year. And there are other market players who are trying to catch up with these two solutions. Now, as part of what WCS provides, typically is various components which can be leveraged, like shopping cart, catalog management, payment services, user management. It comes out of box with the Web 2.0 integrations, mobile capabilities, search engine optimization, and various social integrations for reviews, ratings, and blogs. Now, moving on to what the Ecommerce Suite provides. So, Websphere Commerce Suite is a completely built package consisting of multiple tools which can be leveraged as out of box. So it actually typically comes with starter stores, medicine, allied, and consumer direct. In addition to this, it comes pre-packaged with some business tools which can be used by the business teams, like Commerce Management Center, Commerce Accelerator, and Workspace Administration. It also comes pre-packaged with some site management tools like Administration Console and Organization Administration Console. Now the starter stores that we see are pre-built websites containing a sample catalog and a full running website which can be used out of the box. Now, out of the three that we see, like Madison, Allied, and Consumer Direct, typically Websphere provides two types of capabilities. One is B2C capability, which is business to consumer, and the second one is B2B capabilities, which is business to business store. So Madison and Consumer Direct are B2C stores which come out of the box, and Elite is a B2B store which comes out of the box. Now, in terms of capabilities provided by various business tools like Commerce Management Center and Commerce Accelerator are the places where the business teams who are actually responsible for setting up the whole set of products or items that can be sold online, they can actually use Commerce Management Center or Commerce Accelerator to set up what products can be sold online, what all attributes the product can have, how the product hierarchy will look like, how products will be seen. An example is what image to show for the product, what description to show for the product, and various other details. These tools also provide other capabilities for the marketing team to set up various promotions on the site or various marketing content like advertisements on the site, promoting a very specific product on the site, and various things like this. Now, Workspace Administration and Commerce Management Center have additionally a workflow built in where a business user can actually use it for approving the content. So, say for example, a new retailer is coming up with a new t-shirt to be launched, and business team wants to set up various attributes for the t-shirt, say how the t-shirt image should look like, or what should be the name of the product, t-shirt or things like that, which can be created in Management Center, reviewed by an approver before it can get published on the site. So Workspace Administration provides capability along with Commerce Management Center to build an approval workflow before a product can be seen on the site. So as I discussed, WCS provides various types of business models which business teams can use. So the two types of models which are provided is B2C, which is the store provider is consumer direct, which directly deals between the retailer and the customer. The B2B is typically involves interaction of two businesses. So say for example, I am a retailer. Say for example, we have various. Shopper Stop is one of the retailer. Now, Shopper Stop does not build anything on its own. They buy merchandise from various vendors and then sell it in their store. So the relationship between Shopper Stop and the various merchants is typically a B2B service. So WCS provides a way to build a B2B store between the two businesses, which is in the example that we just took is Shopper Stop and the various merchants from where Shopper Stop is buying various products. In addition to this, WCS provides another capability of extended sites. Now, what this supports is it supports setting up multiple sites aimed at various type of audiences, where each site leverages the assets created. Same asset is leveraged by each of the sites, but the look and feel and the interaction with each of the sites is seen different by different people. And just to take one example of extended site that we had seen is one of the sites that we had built for one of the booksellers earlier. So if you see the two sites, the left side and the right side of the screen is, the left side is one of the bookstore, which is South Carolina bookstore, and right hand side is Texas Christian University bookstore. Both the sites are built using eSite model, where they use the same set of JSPs or assets, code asset, but the look and feel of the site is different based on how the configuration is done using Commerce Accelerator by the business team. So the catalog provided is different for if you see the top categories which are coming up are different for each of the store. The content which is being displayed on the site is different depending on which site is accessed. So in the internally, each of these are sharing the same core asset, but depending on how the configuration has been made, the look and feel for a user is different depending on which site is accessed. In terms of various modules which are provided by WCS out of the box, or various subsystems provided by WCS, the basic building block is again catalog. So one of the basic module which is available from WCS is a catalog subsystem. Now what catalog subsystem provides is online navigation. So if you go to any website, typically I go to home page and I will see various categories showing up like men's, women's, baby, electronics. These are all navigation categories which can be created. Now in addition to this, it provides that capabilities to create multiple levels of categories, and then provides capability of creating products and associating the products with proper categories and associating items with the proper products. So the relationship, creation of relationship, setting up of all the attributes is provided by catalog subsystem. Now, in terms of what kind of catalogs available is, there are two distinct types of catalogs which are created in WCS. One is master catalog. Master catalog contains all the items or products which are sold on the site. They may be published or not published, or may be available to be sold or not available to be sold, but any item that is available in the store is part of master catalog. Now I can create a sales catalog which is nothing but a subset of master catalog. Now the difference between master catalog and sub catalog is, in master catalog a product can be associated with only one category, whereas sales catalog provides me capability of associating one product with multiple categories. So say for example I have a t-shirt which I want to sell, which may be associated with say for example a unisex t-shirt. Now this can be sold as a men's t-shirt as well as women's t-shirt. So with the sales catalog I have a capability of associating same product with two different categories. Now if you see on this website that we have, so if you see on this website, the top category is one of the part of the catalog. Then I can create associations between top category and the downstream subcategories, and the level can be as low as many as possible. There is no limitation in terms of how many levels I can create. Now in terms of WCS terminology, typically it is referred as a category group, and the association typically goes as a category group can have a child category or number of child categories. Now if I browse down, a subcategory at the end of the day will contain a list of products which can be purchased on the site. So we just navigated to an apparel category which started showing me number of products. Now how do these products come up? It is an association of a cat group with a product. So based on the association, depending on number of items which are associated, WCS will have those many products available. And this is typically referred as that entity relationship with a product. Now, a product can have multiple attributes to it, like size, color, and things like that. Other attributes that you can see here is various colors which are available, various sizes which are available, which can be seen. Now, how WCS, what capabilities does WCS has to load the catalog data into WCS? Now, typically the catalog data is managed by merchants, and WCS has various capabilities to provide management of this product attributes. Now, first of the way to load data is a utility called Model, which is Business Object Document Loader. Typically, this is a standalone application which can read from a CSV file or any input which can be provided to this, and depending on the association or the business rules, it will load this data into various tables related to catalog. In addition to this, the Commerce Management Center has a capability of bulk uploading all the data into the WCS database. Now, this typically loads or expects a flat file into CSV format as an input, which in a predefined format, and once uploaded, Management Center has a capability of loading all this data into WCS database. In addition to this, WCS has a mass load utility, which again has a capability of loading large amount of data. Now, with the newer version of WCS, WCS provides another utility called Data Load Utility. Now, this utility can be configured or customized to load data from various input formats like CSV file or XML file or any other file format which can be given. Now, this utility has an ability to configure depending on in what format we need to load the data. Now, in addition to this, if none of these work for us, of course, we can go with some kind of custom code which can be written to load the data. Of course, this will be an additional overhead from the development standpoint. So once we have the catalog data loaded, it can be browsed, and we can actually, it is available for users to be browsed and purchased. Now, when we say purchased, from typically, if you see, if I have to purchase something, I will actually create an order. So WCS has another subsystem, which is Order Management Subsystem, which provides capability of capturing the order, processing the order, processing payment, and other order-related capabilities. The order capture is typically the operation that I do typically is called add to cart operation all the way up to checkout. So this is typically an order capture processing, order capture activity which is available out of the box, and out of the box WCS has a data model to capture all this data as part of order add to cart operation and checkout processing. As part of order placement, there are various operations that are performed, like shipping operation or payment operation. So WCS has capabilities out of box provided to configure and use those kind of processing. Payment processing is one of the capability which is provided by WCS. Now, as part of order capture, couple of things which are done. First is for inventory availability, it's saying, yeah, do I have an inventory available, or has the price changed? The price can change depending on how the merchant wants to sell it. So today I want to sell a product for 100 rupees, and tomorrow I may want to give a discount of, or I want to give a discount of 10 rupees, so I want to change the price to 90 rupees. So price validation and inventory validation. Once I do proper selection of size and color, and I can do an add to cart operation, which will add an item to my cart. Now, add to cart operation or any cart related operation, WCS comes inbuilt with multiple commands which can be used to perform the operation. So, for adding an item to cart, WCS provides various implementations for order item add command, which will take input of the item which you want to add and quantity which is expected to be added, and it will perform the operation. Now, other operations that can be possible on shopping cart are like increasing the quantity or reducing the quantity or removing an item from the cart. So for each of these operations, WCS provides various commands like order item delete or order item update, which would do the operation as per the request. So if I want to remove an item, I will actually call an order item delete command with proper input like the product, that item that I want to remove, and it will remove that item from the cart. Once I have added an item to the cart, I will typically navigate to a order display page or the shopping cart page. Now, things which are typically visible on a shopping cart is the product that I have purchased, the totals that have been calculated for the item, and various operations that can be performed like removing an item and updating a quantity. Now, for calculating or for calculating the totals and any other associated promotions and things like that, WCS provides a command which is order calculate. The command has multiple capabilities of performing what promotions are applicable on the item, what are the shipping charges that needs to be applied, if there is a free gift associated with the item. So these are all various operations that are performed as part of order calculate command. Again, this is out of box available depending on how the product and item is set up. Once the command is called, WCS does all the required calculations and makes sure that all the totals and things like that are updated properly. Now, out of box, typically as soon as I do an add to cart operation, it does an update into various order level totals, order tables in the database. And as soon as the totals are updated, it is always persisted into the database. So now this enables another facility for the customer to say, I do an add to cart operation today, and then I sign in and just log out. I come back tomorrow, I will still be able to see the same product which I have added yesterday. So this is the shopping carts are a persistent cart and are saved into the database. Once I have done an add to cart operation and I want to buy the item, the next step in the whole operation would be to provide shipping and payment information. Now, in terms of various shipping information, WCS has a capability of setting up all the shipping charges associated that can get applied to an item. So, say for example, I am buying a T-shirt which is say I need to charge for that item based on the quantity of t-shirt that I am purchasing. So WCS provides various options to set up the shipping charges associated with an item. Now, shipping charges are typically configured using Commerce Accelerator, and the various options which are available for a merchant to be set up are per order shipping charge. Like I place an order and for that order I charge 10 rupees as a shipping charge, or per item shipping charge. So say for example I buy one item, I charge 5 rupees, I buy 2 items, I charge 10 rupees. Another option is percentage of the order cost. So say for example I have 100, my order total is 100 rupees, and I can actually configure to say 10% of the order cost is my shipping cost. Or if I am buying a heavy items, I can actually define my shipping charges as weight based shipping charges. So say for example I am buying a sofa or a table or something like that, which is a heavy item, I can configure my shipping charges for the item based on the weight of the item. So say for example up to 5 kgs I will charge 10 rupees per kilo, or maybe it can be configured 5 to 10 kgs, I can charge them to 15 rupees per kilo. Something of that sort can be configured. Or I can charge based on the quantity order. So if I buy one quantity, I charge something. If I buy 2 quantities, I charge something. Commerce Accelerator provides a capability to set up the shipping charges depending on the shipping method that I am selecting. So I can actually configure various shipping methods that the shipping vendor can provide. So say for example, next day shipping, second day shipping, or standard shipping. So I may actually, depending on what type of ship mode is set up, I can actually define the shipping charges for each of the item that is being purchased by a customer. Now once the shipping charges have been provided, typically the next operation will be the payment operation. Now this is probably one of the easiest implementation in WCS I have seen, where integrating with a payment subsystem is fairly straightforward, at least with the newer versions. So WCS has a capability of configuring multiple payment subsystems which can be used. Like I can pay with a credit card or a debit card or a gift card, PayPal, Google Checkout, or any other such payment mode. Now WCS provides a very simple payment plugin architecture, which is a session bean which needs to be created for each of the payment type, and in the background it will actually integrate with the payment system for either credit card or debit card, or depending on what payment subsystem we are integrating with. In terms of the payment architecture, the kind of configuration, it is mostly configuration based. So we have to create the business policy for the payment. WCS provides configuration for payment method, which is an XML based configuration. But then once we have configured the payment rules, we have to modify the JSPs or the code asset to start using the new payment method, and then corresponding payment plugin needs to be configured so that it can actually talk to the real payment vendor for all the validation. So once this configuration is done, the payment integration or the payment validation that we see on this on any e-commerce site is enabled on the site. Now, as a normal e-commerce practice, whenever I am purchasing something, I need to make a payment online. So typically, if you see, if I book a railway ticket on IRCTC, once I have selected what route I have to buy, the next step I do is make a payment. So this is where the payment plugin architecture helps to configure any new payment method that I need to configure in a streamlined manner and a fairly minimal effort. Once I have made a payment, probably I will start and go with a payment. I'll go and place an order. Now, as part of placing an order, one of the operation which an e-commerce site does is authorize the payment, and the payment gateway will block that much amount on the credit card or the gift card which is used to make the payment. A confirmation email will be sent to the guest. So, and inventory for the item which is purchased in the order is updated so that the correct inventory is available for the next customer to purchase. Now, WCS has a fairly simple capability of integrating with email as part of message types configuration. So it is WCS provides a capability of configuring SMTP server which is available, and internally once the message is configured with proper SMTP server details, the email corresponding email will be sent to the customer. So this configuration for the email is typically done using the administrative application we saw some time before is administration console. So as of now, we have discussed two of the modules like catalog subsystems and order subsystem. In addition to this, WCS has various other functional modules which are available are user management, where user can register on the site, manage his profile and manage his address information, payment information, can view his order history and other details. It provides marketing capabilities like personalization, where depending on what I have purchased, I will see personalized content or personalized products. It provides capabilities of configuring marketing content or configuring any promotional events on the site. It provides capabilities of setting up multiple promotions. Now, WCS has a capability of providing 21 different types of promotions which can be configured from Management Center or Commerce Accelerator and will get applied to the catalog or the items which are available for purchase on site. The various types of promotions that can be that are available are order level promotion, item level promotion, shipping promotion, and there are various flavors of each of these. In addition to this, other integrations which are available is tax integration, which is again as per government regulations, each of the merchant needs to collect some of the other taxes. As a customer, I need to know what is happening with my order and things like that. So email integration and address validation for the billing address or the shipping address which is provided by the customer. WCS provides various types of frameworks in terms of development of such websites. Some of the frameworks which are available are MVC framework, which is a stress-based configuration framework, command framework, which is again which the framework typically provides building of business logic for depending on what kind of capabilities available on the site, calculation framework, tools framework, and other frameworks available as well. One of the important feature which is available, or the framework available, is caching framework, which typically enables merchants to make sure that the site responses are much higher, so that more number of guests can actually see the pages which are being displayed to them. Now, as part of MVC, so as of now, what we will see is how we can create a new view in WCS and how we can create a new command in WCS with the help of the framework which is available. Now, WCS comes with a application developer environment, which is a rational application developer, which is built on Eclipse framework, and it provides it is a structs-based configuration which provides configuration of code asset, which is JSP with a view, and once the configuration is done, it provides we can actually view the corresponding we can see the corresponding view. Now, in terms of configuring or creating a new view, the type of asset that we need to create is a JSP, which will contain how the page needs to be rendered. Now, the JSP is mapped to a view, which is again a forward action, needs to be configured in the structs config XML available. And once this configuration is done, we need to provide the action for the view which is available. For a view, typically it is a base action which is out of box available from the structs framework. So for just a demonstration purpose, I created a JSP called test.jsp, which just displays hello world kind of statement on the page, and the configuration which is done for this is an action which has been created, which can be called from a browser, and corresponding to the action we have a mapping for the JSP which is going to be used. Now, to access the JSP, typically when I access the JSP, this is one of the JSP, which is sample JSP which has been created on the one of the starter store that we have. As per the JSP as of now, I can actually just change the JSP and have the changes visible on the site. This is from the time the page is coming up. This is one of the ways of this is how a view is created in the WCS framework. Now, in addition to this, the JSP can be created based on how the visual of a page is needs to be created. WCS provides Web.2 capabilities with JavaScript framework called Dojo framework, which is available out of the box. As we see, there is a change which we made is available for a view. Now, second thing, the next thing which is available for us is creating or providing business functionality or business capabilities for any operation that we need to do. For this, typically a command framework is used, which is a name value pair driven framework, which takes an input of a name value pair and does a business operation. WCS has come up with a new framework with a newer version called BOD, or Business Object Document Framework, which is a newer framework which has come up with a newer version. So as of today, we are going to go through just the command framework, and we'll cover the BOD framework in next webinars that we may go through. So for configuring or creating a command or a business operation, a typical WCS provides out of box a framework which needs to be extended is a controller command framework. So, and each command that I create needs to extend a controller command implementation, and it provides three various types of actions which the framework out of box performs is set request properties, it validates the parameter which needs to be provided in method called validate parameter, and all the business functionality is provided by method name perform execute. So once the command is created, the command configuration again needs to be created inside the stress configuration. The command is nothing but an action, so action is provided with a interface name and corresponding path which can be called from the browser. Now, there are two possible ways in which the implementation can be tied to a command. So one of the ways is provided by WCS is by providing a default command class name as part of the interface implementation, or same can be provided using a additional framework which WCS provides, or one of the table which is provided by WCS called CMD-reg, which stores the mapping of an interface with the implementation class name. So for today's demo, I've created a sample command which takes name parameter from the view and then just forwards the same name to the result page. So there is another view which is created to display the name. The typical operation that the command performs in the sequence is, or the framework performs, is set request properties, then validate parameters are validated by validate parameter, and the business operations are performed with perform execute method. So when I submit the action, which is called is the controller command, and then it has redirected me to the result page. Now the input that was entered was material which was returned by the command, and then the same has been printed on the view. So similar things right. Now this is more for a demonstration purpose, but WCS out of box provides various commands which will do various type of operations out of box, like registration of a customer on the site, or adding an item to the cart, or removing an item to the cart, resetting the password and things like that. There are various commands which are available out of box which will provide this kind of out of box capabilities of various business operations. Other features which are provided by WCS is again personalization. So say for example, depending on my age group, I want to display some kind of product to the customer. So the personalization capabilities are provided by WCS. Business intelligence capabilities are provided by WCS with another framework called Core Metrics, which will capture all the user interactions and provide various type of view of how the customer is interacting with the site. Workspaces for managing the products and things like that, various workflows on the site, cross-channel order processing. So now it provides capability of building cross-channel websites, multi-channel websites. Like I can create a mobile website, or I can have a normal website, I can have iPad application, iPod application, various type of applications using which the customer can place an order, and WCS has the capability of providing cross-channel order processing. Out of the box, WCS provides various web services for accessing various type of data. Like it provides services for accessing catalog, and it provides services for payment processing, which can be leveraged by other systems in the organization. Another tool which has been provided by WCS is build and release scripts. So, which is one of the most helpful thing for the development team to build and package everything as an EAR file, and then provides a simple, easy to use scripts for deploying the application. So this brings us to the end of the details that we wanted to cover, and if we have any questions, of course we can take up the questions now.
Yes, Nikhil, we have shared questions with you already. Nikhil, can you see the questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do have the questions.
Okay, right,
So,
thanks.
So the first question which is there from Keshav is, how is WCS different from ATG? So although we are not comparing various products as part of this session, but one thing which I have seen or I have experienced with WCS is it has a pre-built starter store which can be leveraged as it is by various organizations without spending too much time to build a front-end site. This is one of the difference which I have seen, at least from the ATG and WCS perspective. The session is very specific for WCS, so I will not be able to comment too much on ATG at this point of time. The second question which Keshav has again asked is how to create a client jar in Websphere without having a server running. So this is where the build and deploy script, which is provided by WCS, provides the capability of building the whole package jar, which can be deployed with the same script. Now, the build and deploy script is fairly customizable, where you can actually define which project to build, which out of the pilot, what files you need to include or exclude, and various things like that are provided as part of the build and release script. The script is very straightforward and very simple to run, and the output of the script is typically a jar on an ER file. The next question which is there is, I want to have multiple shipping addresses per order as well as multiple shipping methods per order. Does WCS solution allows this? Yes, WCS has a capability of providing multiple shipping addresses per order, and for each of the item you can actually select which shipping method to be used. So just to give a little bit of technical details on this is the way WCS stores the data is orders and order items into two different tables, and order items, with each order item a ship mode can be associated and a shipping address can be associated. So that's how WCS provides the capability of providing multiple shipping addresses for an order, and for each of the items you can provide the capability of selecting different shipping option. Next question which is there is, for promotions and e-spot configuration, which is a better approach, management center or commerce accelerator? So, in terms of configuring a promotion or an e-spot, accelerator is an older product which used to come, which is a more of a JSP kind of workflow, whereas management center is more of a GUI driven tool, which is it's a flash-based tool available. So it is more intuitive to the user, where they can actually do various operations like drag and drop and things like that. Whereas commerce accelerator is more like a older tool where you need to manually select things, and then it's more like a workflow which is there as part of commerce accelerator. So with the newer implementation in CMC, this management center is more intuitive for a business user to set up any content or a promotion or things like that. So anyone who has, I mean, if you go through management center, probably you will see how intuitive it is to use as compared to commerce accelerator. Next question, which is, there is, for every new view, we need to update the access policy. Yes, so WCS has a access control framework. So for every new view or a new command, depending on how the access needs to be provided, the access control policies needs to be updated in the WCS database. So WCS provides script to load the access control policies, which can be created in a predefined XML format. Once the tool is run, it will update the required access control tables in the WCS database, and the view or command can be accessed depending on the access policy provided. Now, various access policies which are available for Works are like all site users, which means the view or command can be used by everyone on the site. Site administrator, marketing manager, these are various type of roles or groups available against which the configuration can be done. There are multiple questions that I see about WCS implementation in India. Unfortunately, I'm not aware of any WCS implementation right now. One thing that I know is Shopperstock used to be a WCS implementation, which I believe they have moved on. But I will spend some time to find out if there are other WCS implementations available in India. Now, in terms of popularity of WCS as compared to US, UK or India, WCS is in terms of cost, WCS is a fairly costly product. So typically it's bigger organizations can afford this. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of large organizations may have implementation with WCS and smaller organization may not have WCS implementation. But yeah, depends on how the organization wants to use the application. WCS provides various capabilities which can be leveraged. Now, the next question that I have is, what is provided by WCS for search and navigation of products? So WCS has a integration with one of the search engines internally, and it can be customized to use other search engines like Indica or any other search engines as well. But depending on how we customize WCS, it has capability of integrating with any other search engine like Indica, Google Search Appliance, or any other search tool which is available. The next question that I have on the list is, what are different WCS frameworks available? So some of the frameworks we had seen on the previous slides. I'll just move back a couple of slides. Yeah. So a couple of frameworks which are available, NGC command, and in addition to this, there are other frameworks as well available, and these can be seen from the info center, which is publicly available on the internet. So the next question that I have on the list is, how does WCS model helps companies quickly adapt to rising customer demands in today's digitally transformed marketplace? Now, in terms of digitally transformed, WCS has a capability of building multi-channel applications. So WCS provides capability of building applications which can integrate with multiple channels, as I mentioned earlier, normal websites or mobile websites, or we can have iPad applications which can be integrated directly with WCS. So the WCS has capability of identifying how from where the request is coming, and correspondingly making sure that corresponding code assets are used for rendering the correct page to the user. Second thing which is there is in terms of high traffic on the site. So the number of hits to the site, depending on how user customers are accessing the site needs to perform within the required time. So if a page takes 10 seconds to come up or 15 seconds to come up, the user is more likely to go away from the site. Now for this, WCS provides a caching framework which is fairly easy to customize and use, called Dynacache framework, which is nothing but a XML-based configuration which enables the site to cache some of the pages on the application there, which are static, fairly static, not changing too often, so that when the same page is accessed next time, it is rendered out of the cache and not rebuilt all over again by hitting the database again and again. So this is one of the ways this is one of the framework which is available out of the box from WCS, which enables sites to perform much faster than any others. Instead of using other caching frameworks which are available out in the market. Okay. Next question which we have is, we have heard that WCS is services-based architecture. So WCS has come up with a new framework called BOD framework, which is Business Object Document framework. This framework provides capability of building services depending on how the services needs to be exposed. And out of box, WCS has exposed various services for catalog and payment, and there are other services which have been exposed based on this architecture. So this architecture again the older architecture our used to use kind of data beans and task commands and things like that. Now, the new architecture provides capability with newer layers which have been built on top of it's an XML based architecture which provides configuration and building of custom logic as part of the various classes which can be created. Now, next question is, what is tools framework? The tools framework is an older framework which has been available with WCS for a fairly long time, using which it's a combination of JavaScript framework and various kind of objects like dialogue activities and things like that which can be built. This framework provides those kind of capabilities. So using this framework, all the internal tools that we have discussed, like Commerce Accelerator, Organization Administration Console, are built using this framework. So we can cover more details maybe in subsequent sections on these, but this is how the framework is used in WCS. The next question that I have is, if you have to decide using one of the upload tools, how to decide? Now, I'm just assuming that this is related to the data upload capabilities which WCS has provided, like BODL or data load utility or mass load utility or custom code that you need to write. So to decide how to or which tool to use, typically it should be based on how complex the data processing needs to be done before the data can be loaded. If it can directly be mapped, the data can be directly mapped to the existing data model of WCS, then probably CNCF bulk upload can be used or data load can be used. If it needs to be a daily processing or some field coming in some format, then Quadrant or data load utilities can be used. So it all depends on how the input is coming and how it needs to be loaded into WCS database. So, the next question is, if we talk in terms of finance, how WCS will helpful? If I will make e-commerce website in Struts or JSF, and use my database, MySQL or Oracle. Now the difference between building a full website on our own and WCS comes in built out of the box with a full functioning website. Whereas if I have to write something on my own, I have to code all the required logic by myself, which is going to take more time than what is available out of the box. Now, WCS provides a lighter version which is available which is available at much cheaper cost as compared to Express Edition or any other edition of WCS, which can be leveraged to start something and then maybe move on to a higher version as and when the business grows. So in terms of how WCS can help is it comes with a pre-built starter store. You have a pre-built website. All you need to do is load the data according to the data model which is there, and once the data is loaded, you have your own website available. If we need to configure the look and feel, of course, that can be configured by modifying the JSPs which are available, and we still get the same full functioning website with much lesser time than building everything on our own. One of the things which is various things which are already available out of the box is shipping configuration, promotion configurations which are available. Now building this capabilities on our own takes a lot of time, and making sure that it is stable enough takes a lot of time, whereas WCS provides this out of the box. So this is we are actually running out of time. So this is what we have for today. Thanks for your participation for today's presentation, and we hope we will continue the same. We'll continue to cover more topics on this WCS in future. Thanks for your participation, and hope to see you again.
Thanks, Mr. Nikhil, for your informative session on Websphere Commerce Suite. It was indeed an enlightening session. I would also like to thank our participants for their support in making this webinar a huge success. The recording of this webinar will be available on techgeek.com by tomorrow. The next session in the webinar series is on business intelligence, happening tomorrow, 10th November at 3 p.m. The topic for the webinar is Introduction to Predictive Analytics. We will be having Mr. Avik Sarkar, architect in predictive analytics and data mining at IBM, as our guest speaker. So, see you all tomorrow at 3 p.m. Have a nice day. Thank you.